All right, we are live, and I apologize ahead of time to everyone. We do not have our original microphone set up for live, so it's going to be the crappy, clicky, poor mic audio quality for the live stream.
Retro.
Yeah, it's retro. This is a throwback. It's Throwback Sunday.
Some other time Sunday.
Some other time Sunday. There you go. Someday in times. So I apologize.
Someday.
Again, I do apologize for the quality of the mic. It is terribad, and we know it. So.
Oh. Do you need water? I need water.
Yeah, go ahead and grab some water. I would love a glass. I don't need a full bottle, just a little glass would be great.
Okay.
Like a point, yeah? I'm going to let everybody watching know we have the bad microphone today. And I apologize ahead of time to everyone. We do not have our original microphone set up for It's okay, it doesn't look like anyone's watching. That's fine. You can go ahead and fast forward to when you see Scott come back in, because this is just going to be long and boring for you. So is anybody out there watching at all? If you are, say hi in the comments. It doesn't look like there's anyone out there. And if there's not, I may just kill the feed. Looks like someone tuned in. So whoever's out there, I hope you're having a good week. Yeah, I'll cover all my stuff on the podcast. Seth is out there. Yeah, I know it's a really bad mic, Seth. That's why I said it's a bad mic today. Must be snotty about it. No, we forgot the Zoom at home, or at my home. And without the Zoom, we get shit quality, so sorry about that. What episode is this?
61.
61?
I apologize.
The social gathering.
Leave this on
right
to hear back on
by all means.
whether or not I can talk about something.
Okay. Well, leave it on by all means.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
We want to fire it up?
Yep, let's do it.
I know. It's going to be one of those podcasts.
It is going to be a podcast. Episode 61.
6-1.
My least favorite sex act.
Which is 61?
I think it's when you can suck your own...
Ron Jeremy style?
Well, hopefully a little less hairy than that.
Okay.
But,
what's his nickname? Weasel?
The Hedgehog, dude.
Hedgehog,
Come on.
that's it.
Come on.
Couldn't remember. We made a reference to Cannonball.
Oh, yeah, the Cannonball cover
the
that
other
Ron
day.
Jeremy did.
And then someone said, oh, we can't think about that without thinking of Katy Perry. And I'm like, fuck Katy Perry. I can't think about I'm thinking of a hairy fat man riding the Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball.
Yeah.
Cannonball would be more like... Cannonball. Yeah, there we go. So...
I got my balls mixed up.
It happens. It happens. So my week, of course. Sorry about last week. We didn't put out anything.
We were Catholic schoolgirls last week.
No, I said we didn't put out anything.
Oh, right. Sorry,
Not we put out something and didn't tell you about it.
Right.
A lot. We had to put out like 14 podcasts. Hey, Catholic repression's a hell of a drug, man.
Oh, yeah.
He said no.
I can't quit.
Well, the power of Christ compels you.
Oh.
So my kids were in town, but more importantly, I was dealing with some family stuff. My grandmother passed away, and so it was a kind of an emotional roller coaster. And then my kids left yesterday to fly back home to Idaho. So it's today. It's just kind of an emotional crash. So you guys get to ride along with me in that weep fest. So have fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just bouncing today, aren't I? You got more phone calls coming in, more texts. Are any from Brian Lewis?
No, but he has to do with the text.
Of course he does. I saw the picture. I don't think you posted it. Someone else posted a picture of you, Brian Lewis, and I want to say, was it Keegan? No. It was someone
Josh
else.
Okay. And Don Thacker.
I was going to keep doing that. That's fun. So that's awesome. Another picture that got posted today blew my mind. Ivan Van Norman, who you might know from King of the Nerds. He won the first season.
Okay.
Or who you might also know for his game creation. He created a number of games. Outbreak.
I've heard of Outbreak.
Pen and paper. Anyway, so he's a game designer. Really cool guy. Met him at ZombieCon. He was one of the presenters at the very first ZombieCon, and we were in the booth right next to him. So I met him there, talked to him a bit, and we're friends on Facebook. Today, a picture got posted with Ivan, Benjamin Dunn, who was the lead in the very first movie I was ever in, and who we fought really hard for the lead. It was like a 9-hour audition, head-to-head. It was a lot of fun. And then Dom Zook were all in the picture together. So that was like really weird. Like all these worlds colliding down in LA. Strange stuff.
Of course, because I was going to say, Dom's not up here.
No. But I thought that was...
And people might know Dom. I didn't until someone had to tell me because he looks completely different now.
Without the beard?
He's the Cypher in the Demon Hunters orientation video.
Yes.
And I remembered that person.
Right.
And then I saw Dom again at another time, and I was like, no. That might have been your brother, but that wasn't you. No, totally him.
Nice. Speaking of Cyphers and Demon Hunters, I think we got a new one for our monthly Demon Hunters campaign with Don Early.
Yes.
I want to say, is it Chris Piazza?
No, I think he's...
Oh, he's just coming on. He's PAing. All right.
So
it's still who her name keeps changing on Facebook.
I know, and I'm trying to remember what the latest.
Seven Realms, right? Is the name of their podcast.
I believe so. Yes.
And Resner. Is it Jessica Resner?
Red. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I can see her face with the glasses.
I can see her face with the glasses, too.
And that's Jessica.
Yes.
Yes, I think.
Cool.
Hope so.
Well.
If not, and we butchered you, we apologize.
I don't apologize for butchering anyone. I've lived with it my whole life.
You really should. Well, you can if you butcher it.
That's true. How's your week going,
played
Scott?
a butcher.
I have played a butcher. I've been a butcher.
in a film with me.
Yeah.
Ish. Well, we were in the same film. Near the twain shall meet.
Near, indeed. The anniversary would be the film in
question. For you, my God, it's been a while.
Mike, I don't think Mike listens to the podcast anymore.
I don't think so, because they don't make scratchy sound.
Yeah.
He's like, my cat's dead.
And thank you guys for the condolences that are coming in live. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
How was your week?
My 2 weeks have been tumultuous, adventurous, heartening and disheartening. So.
Oh, and Happy Pride to everyone out there.
Yes.
Perhaps say Happy Pride. And to all the states that are getting their marriage constitutional right is overturned.
Finally waking up to reality.
Oh, happiest of Pride to you folks.
Yes. And someone posted, probably can't see it on my Facebook because I didn't repost it, but at the Pride rally parade today, which George Takei was the Grand Marshal of, they had some of the Solstice bicyclists, nude bicyclists there, body painted as Trekkies.
Nice.
Yeah. It was pretty epic. You had the engineering corps
with long and posterior.
Sorry, dude. Never mind. I was going to try and name all the colors in their respective thing, but medical, science, and engineering. I don't know. Red, yellow, and blue. Red, gold, gold. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. I'm the one supposed to be making you laugh right now.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, and Mike's listening in secret apparently.
Sweet!
But if he listens to this, he doesn't get the stereo all up in his ears.
That's true. Maybe that's why he's switched.
Maybe that's why I switched. But he's getting the shittiest sound right now because we are using the onboard Surface mic. Having lost. No, the Surface one. It's even worse. It's the one that's on the machine that has the fan. The GoPro doesn't pipe sound out of the HDMI.
Oh.
So we are. If you have the worst audio experience today, we'll fix it next week. I promise. Yeah. It's just
faux show.
Anyway, so go ahead with your week. 2 weeks. Oh, how are those cherries, by the way?
I had some. This is why I do not like. Let me back up. Andy has a bunch of cherry trees, fig trees, and other goodness growing in his garden and backyard, and said that the trees were overladen and invited me to come pick some. And I remember now why I was never a good produce picker, even when I was in high school. I picked the wrong ones.
Oh no!
So I had about 5 good ones.
Oh boy!
Which was good because actually I gave up quite early, realizing, eating a few as I was picking them, going, I am guessing horribly wrong as to what is good and not good. Some of the ones that were ripe, amazing cherries.
Yeah.
The ones that weren't, surprisingly sour.
Well, the pie cherries are all sour. So if you picked any off the pie cherry tree, those are all sour.
Oh, maybe those were the ones that was eating.
Those are the ones that are kind of a neon pinkish, almost. Yeah, those are all sour.
Oh, well, that sucks.
That's what a pie. You cook them with sugar and put them in a pie.
So yeah, they were. Thank you very much. I did not pick any lettuce or spinach. I should have.
Gotcha.
But yes. So I had a couple auditions. One for a movie called Father Africa.
Oh yeah.
Which they gave me 5 sides to study. And then I walked in and they gave me a totally different side to do.
Of course, that's perfect.
And so that didn't really go well.
Right.
Which was disheartening because they're filming for a month in Africa, and I was really hoping to be able to go. That would have been cool.
Gotcha.
And then I had an audition for a Microsoft commercial.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know where I was going. It was up in Greenwood. And I remembered why I questioned some of the casting directors here. Jodie Rothfield, awesome. She's got an office and a studio and everything, and a number of the other places have gone, Bolton businesses. This person has turned a townhouse into sort of a, I guess, workspace.
Gotcha.
Maybe she lives upstairs. She's turned the garage into like the audition area. And it was, here's 5 sides to read. And then I show up and she's like, pick 2. Okay, I want to do the voiceover guy. She's like, oh, not him. So, but why not? You told me to pick one.
Right.
I did. So, well, we're not casting it. I'm like, oh, so it's been precast? She's like, no, they just didn't tell us to. I'm like, oh, well, then let them know that I'm interested in the narrator voiceover part.
Okay.
And then I picked 2 other ones. Of course, I've got nothing memorized.
Right, because...
So it was... And then this is my favorite. They told me to be quiet.
What?
That I was too loud for apparently the audition. I was looking at a dog going, and I will step back from the microphone for those at home who are listening. Oh, you're a cute puppy. Oh, you're such a cute little puppy. Oh, look at that puppy face. And apparently that was too loud for their sensitive camera.
For their sensitive camera.
Yes.
It could have been that you were in a tiny garage.
That too, but it wasn't much louder than what I just did now, and the garage was bigger than this room.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And there was a sofa. It wasn't like it was just bare walls.
Oh, casting couch.
Yeah.
You're too loud. You're annoying the people having sex next to you. Right.
Yeah, you're overshadowing the sex sounds. We need to keep it down.
Yeah.
We want to listen to something interesting.
For every Microsoft commercial.
Yes.
Put that out there.
I did go in PA on one for Arc Media with Janelle Cornwell. Cornwell?
Yeah, I got a voicemail from her earlier today, and I just noticed when I got over here, so I didn't have time to check it yet. So maybe it's related.
Could be. And that was for a Microsoft commercial where I ran into a longtime hero of mine from radio here in Seattle, Luke Burbank.
Luke Burbank?
Yeah, he was the main guy. He used to do TGIF out of Seattle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Moses Olson was in one of them.
Oh,
Teresa Greenan was in one. And Gabriel Congdon.
Of course he was!
Clippy.
Of course he was.
Yes.
I heard a little bit about
the producers actually said, and it's great as a PA, you get to hear the things that the talent doesn't. Mm-hmm. They were all a-hum and concerned that Clippy was too tall. Because he's not walking with the Clippy outfit.
Right.
He's just in this white unitard.
Right.
And you're just like, there's this huge white alien.
Like Gabe is.
And they're all like, he's too tall. And they finally put the suit on him, and he's like, and they're like, oh no,
he's fine. He's fine. Yeah.
So that was fun. Got to PA that. Mm-hmm. But the big thing is the audition that I had way back in the day,
right? That
we were talking about for a little film called Death,
right?
Which is being written and directed by Don Thacker. Thank you. Also starring Moses Olson.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Trin Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Lewis. Josh Truax.
Yep.
Wanda Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Rochelle Henry.
Okay.
Hope Moonrise.
Oh, hey.
And I was the voice of Halprin.
Oh, cool.
Which was one of the UH units, which is like a robot. Mm-hmm. And at the reading that we did, I read for Cronstead, who is the COO.
Isn't Halprin also an anticoagulant?
Could be. Huh. Don is a very brainy individual,
Seth?
And there's all sorts of...
Is Halprin an anticoagulant? This is coming off the top of my head, so...
So I did the reading, and that part had not been cast because they were casting out for... a name somewhere, indie name. Tony Todd, I think, was one who was Candyman and on some of the...
Yeah, I know who. Oh, yeah.
I don't know who he is. Some new up-and-coming indie guy who's all over Sundance, Rick Rogers or Johnny Rocket or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if I can even drop all these names.
Jesse James? That'd be funny.
No, not Jesse James. But I did and I did horrible at the audition.
Oh, okay.
It was just horrible. And then we did the read-through, and I was like, yeah, I did my Halprin stuff, and I'm just going. So Don asked me to come back again and read for a second read-through that we did, where we were talking with the people who are doing the game Soma in Sweden, who this is in joint venture with. This is a movie based on think it's 10 years prior to the events that happened in the game.
Okay, gotcha.
And originally Don was doing some little mini shorts that Trin was in and Josh Truax was in one. And they said, oh yeah, we want you to do a bunch of these. And Don's like, by the time I get all these done, I could have made a film. So they're like, what? Okay, make a film.
So they probably with a Swedish accent.
And I'm not even going to try.
Don
does a
Don, be sure
wonderful...
to be making a film. That's not...
No, that's Irish.
Well, that is, yeah. I'm trying to... Oh, hello, Peter. That's super. That's all. Thank you, Seth MacFarlane, for screwing up my idea of a Swedish accent. At least it's not Bork, Bork, Bork anymore. So, it still is that.
It still is. So, wow, this is taking a long way to get there. Anyway, Don Thacker has a company called Imagos Films. And he's done a number of things. There's something coming out in August that's won like 28 awards at festivals and stuff. And he's a good person that I wanted to be a part of. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, on Thursday. Anyway, one of those 2 days, I lost my mind because I got offered the part of Crosshead.
Nice. Very, very cool.
Yes. Very unlike any character I've ever played.
Awesome.
And going to be a wonderful stretch. But there's a fuck ton of lines, and we start shooting on the 7th of July.
Have fun, buddy.
So I've been stressing out, and as I can't give away any secrets or anything, I believe I can say that it's sort of an undersea deal in labs.
It's C-Lab. It's C-Lab 20. That's perfect.
And we have all been subsisting on very not solid foods like algae and
the very diarrhea and
fungi and stuff. Well, no, it just looks like I've eaten half of the inhabitants. So I am now on
a super diet,
the velocity diet.
Nice.
Yeah. So we will see how that goes.
Yeah. Well,
I am not being asked to do that. I want to state publicly so that Don is clear of all wrongdoing.
If you die,
we had a small conversation about the fact that we wanted me to be tall and imposing, and I said I'm
imposing,
and I'm tall, but I'm imposing for the wrong reasons.
Rubenesque, my friend.
Yes,
Rubenesque is what we call it.
That is voluptuous.
Yes.
Curvy.
You're a volupturaptor.
Husky.
Oh God, I hated that one.
Oh man,
I hated that one growing up.
Fuck, I am not a piece of.
favorite.
I'm not an ear of corn. I am not husky. So anyway, that's my big news, and I will be dropping off the face of the planet. But lucky for everyone, I have Sundays off.
Oh,
so we'll be podcasting.
That's the Lord's Day.
Yes.
In our case, it's the Lord's Day. Well, cookie puppy.
But we're not on telly.
Oh, yeah. It's an appropriate time for another.
It is, totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's, I've been very busy and learning all my lines and drinking protein shakes.
Nice. I need to start working out myself because I hate flying off that. And I'll be flying out to Gen Con on, I think, the 13th of August.
This is 15th and 17th, right?
Oh, then the 14th. I'm flying out the day before the whole thing starts.
Right.
So I'll be flying back that Sunday night. Monday's going to be a terrible day. It's going to be horrible. So, yeah, time to start.
And my apologies to anyone who's listening. I tried to work out Spokon, but it's not going to happen because I only have Friday off, and we can't make the things work to get me out there for Friday.
Yeah.
So I will be at no cons this year. Well, no more cons. Redcon was my con right here.
Hey, not a bad con to have.
No, not at all. Happy to have it.
Yeah. So aside from family fun times, I did, I want to say Friday, get a chance to work on and finally release something we shot a year ago.
Yeah.
If you haven't had a chance to see it, it's not getting a lot of traction, probably because I released it on Friday. we released Henchman, which is a rude mechanical short that Scott was the camera operator for. We shot it in a couple of hours at this lovely park near the Andad House on Beacon, and put that out on Friday in 4K.
4K.
That's a lot of Ks.
Go to the YouTube and it says 1080, 1444, or
1440 and 2160.
Yeah.
So,
which my awesome new screen can't possibly display, but it sure looks beautiful on 1080.
Yeah, well, it's a very, very. It looks good.
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy with.
I think I pushed in a little too close.
That's fine.
Bo's head is rather large in most of the
realities.
Bo's true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Love you, Bo.
So that is sort of the fun film news I have from last week. We did start color grading on Human and Households, and we pulled in Rob Hunt to do the titles.
Awesome.
He sent me a test of the. He's basically using a template, and in this case, it works really well. But he sent me this template test of sort of what he has going, and it looks great. I talked to Tom Goffin, and he's sending us the PSD of the title logo, so we'll be able to do that upscale that to 4K. I also sent him a bunch of high def textures, because the ones that they had were only 1080p, I think. And we're going to master the whole thing in 4K. We're not delivering it in 4K, but we're going to master it in 4K and then downsample and run debayer so it looks cleaner. Yeah, so it's going to be pretty awesome. We are going to be. This is going to be interesting. I may need a key to your place, which I have, but because we are going.
The studio.
The studio. Your place that we work in at for. Because I'm going to probably need to do ADR and whatnot while you're busy as hell. Over the next few weeks. So.
Okay.
But that's the situation as it stands right now. Humans and Households is on a very, very tight track, but it is on track for Gen Con.
Awesome. That's outstanding.
And if you're going to SDCC, there should be a test screening. We will ask for feedback after the screening, but there should be a test screening of Humans and Households available for that as well.
And when is that?
SDCC is July. I'm not going. Erin's going.
Yay! Erin's going.
Erin's going. She's in a contest,
right,
called Her Universe, which is a fashion contest being held alongside SDCC. Out of 130 some odd entrants, 30 were picked, and she's one of those. So she's going to go down and compete in that.
Cool.
Yeah. But I will not be there.
And you shot the video for that.
I did shoot the video for that.
And then I shot.
Oh yes.
For the interns at the University of Puget Sound wanted a going away sort of memory video, memorial, keepsake, I don't know, something to remember their time by.
In memorandum.
And
it's a memento. Is what you're looking for.
Yes.
Don't drop them in coke.
No.
Yeah.
Kalila, who was the mastermind of all this, wanted to do it to Pharrell's Happy. And
never been done with it.
No. And I shot some stuff early on, like 2 months ago.
Right.
And was able to incorporate some of that, but it was very loose. We didn't really know what we wanted to do. And so the next time around, I had said, let's plan everything out. Let's get a script, go down, make sure that we're getting all the beats. And we did, and I sat down and I edited that baby and put it all together, and you came over and put some nice finishing touches and showed me a couple things we were wrong. And they are uber happy, and I'm ecstatic, and I sent off some stuff, including my reel and that I have edited. I need to throw in my duck video too. But I ventured into the, hey, hire me as an editor, Rob.
Yeah, well, you did a great job with that video.
Thanks.
The best part is you did it all handheld, and not handheld with a rig.
Nope.
Handheld. So the fact that it came out as steady as it did, knowing you and your DTs on account of the itis,
Just really wish I would have gotten that 60s, 70s shot locked off. But it worked.
It worked.
It's good enough.
That's sort of the Austin Powers, people coming in as it's still frame. And yeah, that's...
Or the Monkees.
The Monkey. Well,
Did they do it?
Yeah, they did it. Dude, they all did it. It helped. It was in Help with the Beatles.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
that
they
was...
come in on the beats for the music. So yeah, but it still worked. It worked fairly well.
Yeah.
Yep. We did also send off a taped audition last week for something else, but I don't know if that's come of anything. Oh
God, yeah, we did 2 of those.
2 of them. They looked good. They looked great.
They did. I don't think anything came of them.
Well, it happens. Speaking of not what this is about at all in any way, I've been seeing Tony Becerra posting quite a bit from set in Spokane.
Yes.
And it looks like they are doing a lot of work. I saw Art Reynolds today get posted with Fred Bean. So he's over there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I didn't even know Art was over there.
I didn't either.
But... or unless Fred came back. He might have come back for the weekend.
Oh, I think they're coming back this week. They've already a week off.
Oh, good. That's great.
Because Damon got a hold of me and said that we should all get together.
We should all get together, for sure.
Yeah. And Shelton will be back, so...
Oh, good. And,
hopefully Tony's released for some R&R and we could get the gang out for some drinky poos.
That would be awesome. I will gladly join. I am leaving Thursday night to go down to Idaho and spend some time with my dad.
Yep.
So sometime before that would be awesome. So we'll check that out.
Yes.
Well, should we get to some questions, or
we should?
Do we have any more stuff to talk about that's not going to be covered in? Because I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
It's been so long, I can't think of anything. I buttoned up the first finishing touches of Toy Rescue Mission's new website.
Oh, great.
So that is out for review.
Wonderful.
I'm very happy about that. I've done their website for 14 years, I think.
Right.
And this is going to be the 3rd or 4th iteration. It keeps getting better. And that... I'm also going to be doing a website for Douglas Michael's wife.
Oh, and he's
awesome. So we got the layout and all of that. It's going to be like a Metro style, Windows 8 type.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm very excited to get started on that. Hopefully I can squeeze it in before we start filming, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really marketable style right now. So
I know.
Get down on that.
Yeah.
So Paula Moran just offered, if I'm stuck at the booth, to bring me anything I need. So thank you, Paula. It's so awesome.
Fruit Punch Block Stars.
I don't know.
Okay.
Diet Fruit
Punch
Block Stars.
Water.
Diet water.
Yeah.
Have you seen
full
this
octane. You need the diet.
Have you seen this thing go around, the vegetarian water?
No.
So there's this new filter, like, yeah, you think your water's vegetarian, but is it? And it's this filter that takes all the bacteria out of water. Though calling bacteria animal is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
They are more plant than anything. They do an external digestion kind of thing. They're more like a fungus.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's idiotic. There are small crustaceans in a lot of water, so I guess, whatever, maybe kosher water would be a better thing, even though now I want to say the Hasidic Council in New York, because they do have crustaceans in their water in New York, has cleared that as kosher, so you can still use the water there if you're Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently vegetarians are above that.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I just wonder how they feel about all the fucking huge colonies of bacteria that live in their stomachs.
Yeah.
That don't get the food they need because they're drinking essentially distilled water.
Bet that tastes good too.
Well, these aren't even. Being vegetarian is fine. Being a fundamentalist about anything is a little not fine.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. This is vegetarian fundamentalist. A jihad on your meat.
crap. I thought I had something else to say on the waterfront, but... Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Oh my God. Brando. Really? Again with the...
Dude, I get...
Hydrate. I got
power
you.
shakes and this. That's what I get.
You get power shakes. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because you're not drinking any whiskey anymore, so you get the power shakes.
I know. Don't tell me when I was drunk. But I was very happy. Happy.
It's that song.
It is that song.
Mike Ott also says, come to Gamehole Con. When is Gamehole Con? And
no. We shouldn't ask where it is.
No, I don't want to know.
No.
Maybe it's in Keeter's Maybe Hole.
Maybe.
You saw that.
Yeah.
Maybe Hole. So let's get some questions if you're done hydrating.
I am.
Okay.
For now. Dennis Nickel writes a while ago, have you found any decent local places that have the almighty poutine?
Yes, and they all suck.
Yep.
Poutine outside of Canada is
Not
terrible.
poutine.
It is awful.
Terrible Beauty is the closest thing, and it's an Irish pub.
Yeah, and it's Irish poutine.
Right.
So it's like pub chip style. The fries aren't shoestring. They're like, yeah, and I think there's bacon in there too. And the gravy is Guinness gravy, which, by the way, awesome.
Yeah,
but
very awesome. But
yeah, don't. Well, and Terrible Beauty in West Seattle just closed.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so
because the 4 fucking apartment complexes that they bulldozed the junction for?
That is part of it. They closed off their sidewalk, which took out their entire lunch till. They didn't make any money at lunch. They were just bleeding money at lunch.
Wow.
And I guess that corner is terrible. It's because it's the furthest corner from any non-street parking.
Yes.
So I think that's my guess as to why it's so bad. Plus they've got another pub 2 doors down, or another bar 2 doors down, which is sad because Terrible Beauty was terribly awesome.
Yes.
So now we have to go to Renton if we want it. There's one in South Lake Union. Yeah. But parking there is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So we did take my kids to the Renton one. They loved it. We got their draft fruit beer, which is an experience.
Really?
It will kick you in the mouth.
Sweet.
Heavy licorice flavor. Hint of vanilla. Very like it's not super carbonated. It's just the carbonation is aggressive.
Okay.
It's like holding
big bubbles.
Yeah, it's like throwing 15 bags of Pop Rocks in your mouth and then holding it shut. So it's an experience.
Because A&W was very lightly carbonated.
Right, I love A&W.
Yeah, I mean it was. So I totally understand the difference.
And I mean real A&W.
Yeah.
Not the bottles in the stores. Go to an A&W, which Todd Downing just did today and posted a picture because he's out of his house because he's moving.
I was just going to say West Seattle's losing one of its staunchest advocates because of the bullshit going on in the junction.
So it is related to that? Is it?
Well, that and the fact that West Seattle is the redheaded stepchild of Seattle and needs to be made into its own city with its own stuff because we just get neglected, like all the bus routes getting cut.
Oh yeah.
Let's just cut out everything to West Seattle.
I'm very, 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 very close to that issue.
Yeah.
So because I'm on a bus route that didn't get cut, which means I'm on a bus route that is shoulder to shoulder
flooded
at 6 a.m.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is packed because all the other buses are gone.
Yep.
Yay.
Or Triple X root beer in Issaquah.
Yes. That is good stuff too.
Yeah,
and great burgers.
Yeah. Great. Don't get them on the 5. That was a stupid idea.
Yeah. So Mike says that the con is in Madison, Wisconsin, which is the capital of Wisconsin.
Bet there's lots of cheese at the con.
Shove it in your gamer hole. And Jen Page and Dungeon Bastard were there last year. And
sweet.
I'm looking forward to seeing Tom at Gen Con this year. Tom and I get along fairly well. He has been on a live JQ role-playing panel, which you filmed. We both filmed. We took turns. being on stage and filming. That was a lot of fun. And that was at Berserkon. Berserkon.
And then I did DIT for the Dungeon Bastard Worst Dungeon Crawl Ever at Gen Con last year.
Right.
Although it's technically not DIT, so I'm getting some other kind of credit. But I haven't seen that. I need to get...
You might get media
Paige
management
Barnett
or something like
and...
that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. My DIT credit, by the way, for Lightning Bolt is finally on IMDb, which makes me very happy. So I've got a Pearl Jam credit on IMDb. It's so cool.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty stoked. There is no good poutine place that I found here. I found a few places that serve it. There's Hulu Hulu. It is awful. It is the worst thing on their menu. Terrible. Now, you want good poutine, you can make good poutine.
Yes, you can.
Here are the secrets. Yukon Gold potatoes. Hand cut them, fry them. Fry them in like an extra...
Canola?
You can do canola. Canola's good. Put a little bit of rosemary in it. Some sea salt. Yeah, a little rosemary, a little sea salt. Once you drain them, throw on the Beecher's cheese curd. Okay. Make your own gravy. Do a beef broth reduction. Make your own.
Are you flour or cornstarch guy?
I'm a cornstarch and butter guy.
Yeah.
But
so much easier than flour.
Well, it's clear. You get a nice clear gravy out of it. But do the roux yourself first, and then pour in mix that up, get that going. Again, if you get time, you can do a bay leaf in there for like about 20 minutes in the gravy. Makes it taste great.
Light pepper,
or light white pepper, which is even more amazing. Then get yourself some smoked meats. Put all that on there. So good
stuff.
Yeah. Well, I made that's the poutine I made when I came back from.
We should do a Bards recipe.
We should.
We should do that.
We should.
I think
we'll call it poutine on the Ritz. Because this is a little fancy.
Yes,
this is some fancy poutine.
Yeah, this is high end.
Yeah.
This is not. I'm getting a package of an
McCormick.
envelope of McCormick brown gravy.
Which I'm not gonna poo-poo on McCormick brown gravy.
Throwing it on some Ore-Ida French fries, crinkle
tater tots.
Yeah,
get some taters. I did.
And some Velveeta cubes. Put that on top.
That's the thing in America. The poutine, it's cheese sauce. So many places do cheese sauce. Why? Curd, man, curd. The other thing that I kind of came to the realization of is America does have poutine, but it's American poutine, and it's the KFC gravy bowls. Because they are mashed potatoes, chicken bites, gravy, and cheese, and corn. And they're good. They are good.
Christian and I used to eat those in Tacoma at the KFC on 6th and Sprague.
Oh my God.
I don't know how many times we went there, but yeah, it was always the KFC.
I will continue and forever to pronounce it Sprague.
I think that's fair.
I grew up in Spokane, where Sprague is a major thoroughfare.
It's the high school I went to.
Sprague High School?
Charles A. Sprague High School.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's what everything in Washington State is named after in this area. Is it an Explorer, I'm assuming?
No, I don't know. Ours was the governor of Washington.
Oh, maybe that's the same thing, because we've got Sprague Lake in eastern Washington.
Yes.
Camped there once. It was awesome. Very cool.
That's where I hit snow, from Sprague Lake all the way to Hayden, Idaho, to go perform.
If you're gonna have white stuff all over, it's gonna be Hayden, Idaho.
Right. To perform the wedding for some fans.
Right.
It was awful getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, I got over the pass with no traction.
This was the kilt wedding, right?
No, this was the Flynn the Fine Bard wedding.
Oh, right. Shit.
And it was beautiful, and the snow outside the windows in this awesome cabin, it was amazingly wonderful. But getting there, I got all the way. I got over the pass. I got from Sprague Lake through Spokane, where it looked like the entire roadway was shifting from the left to the right because you couldn't see black. It was all snow. Got to the base of the hill to the house. Up the hill once.
Wow.
Lost cell reception. Went back down to the bottom, past their house both ways. Got to the bottom of the hill. Still didn't have reception. Finally busted out my Les Schwab tire change for the first time.
In the ever.
Got them on the car, and then they came down to get me.
Of course, that's perfect.
So, yeah.
We actually have a comment about poutine that they serve it now at McDonald's and KFC, or an A&W.
Where?
Up in Canada.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which, we...
Abomination.
Yeah, pretty much. The
It's
place
like
is...
Tom's selling.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Tim Hortons will have poutine donuts.
Tim Hortons,
where you do like the cinnamon twists and then some maple syrup over it, and like some cheesecake bits.
Yes.
There you go.
Wow.
Sweet poutine.
Okay.
Another 2 bars poutine recipe.
We need to stop talking about food.
But our favorite places when we went up there, we went to La Patinerie, which this is in Guelph.
Yes.
And then we went to The Works.
Yeah.
Now, the Works poutine was amazing. Everything there was great.
We had a peanut butter and jelly hamburger.
Dude, it was so good. And it wasn't... You're like, oh, yeah, that sounds like... Like the peanut butter and banana hamburger is the one that I tried.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap, it was good. It wasn't like a gimmick. It was actually really good. They had, like, mason jars with that weren't metric. I thought that was pretty funny. Mason jars that weren't metric. Full of milkshake, and then the buckets of poutine. So amazing. And then Smoked Poutinerie was my second favorite after The Works. But if you only had $7, Smokes was the way to go because you could eat 3 meals out of it.
Yeah, that was a
ridiculous
fucking suitcase of poutine.
Yes. We did not go to... I think... Did we go to a poutine place in Kitchener as well? I don't remember. I don't think we did.
I wasn't in Kitchener. Oh, yeah, I was.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
I almost wasn't in Kitchener.
You almost weren't in Kitchener.
Right.
And then we almost went to that place. That was also in Guelph, though, by the theater. And then we didn't end up going there. But, yeah, there's a lot of great poutine places.
And Brian, Christian, Vanessa, and the Standard Action folks, and I went to one in Vancouver.
Right.
That I can't remember the name of. That was okay.
Yeah, Vancouver's not as...
No.
It's definitely a Middle East sort of... It's like if the squirrels are black, the poutine's probably great.
And if you go all the way east to...
Quebec?
No, past Quebec.
Oh.
Not quite
Nova
Greenland.
Scotia.
Yeah, Nova Scotia. They've got another variety of poutine.
Or Newfoundland.
And yeah, one of those. I was talking to the guy in Vancouver, and we were saying, we're Yanks, and we had it over in Guelph, and say, oh yeah, that's where they do. That's where they do poutine.
Yeah, they
all on the east side. That's where the
that's
best
their
stuff
thing.
is. But I guess you get over farther east, and there's another slight deviation to the mix.
They had it in the mall there too, in Guelph, and it was really good. It was like a little kiosk, and it wasn't great.
No,
but it was better than a burger.
But when you're in a mall,
probably worse for you than a burger. It is. I don't know how Canadians are alive. Free healthcare. That's you need it with poutine. So, all right, we should probably get to the next question.
Okay, so the next question is more esoteric, but I want to address it anyway because it involves Stuart Hume.
Stuart Hume.
He says
our Aussie friend.
Don't be too quick. He did not really know about this apparently.
Oh.
Because he writes in, okay, so it seems I've been missing out on something cool here due to time constraints. Just listened to episode 60, and I'm wondering if there are any standout episodes I should grab as first priority. I would say go to 1 and start from the beginning, but our good friend Dennis,
who has let's put this out here, over the last 3 months, he went from 1 to caught up.
Yep.
So he knows.
He does. He said, pick the live and our episodes with guests if you don't have the spare 65 plus hours to get totally caught up.
Right.
And he also wrote publicly on Facebook, Mr. Dennis Nickel writes, he is thankful that he doesn't have to ask for any of the 65 plus hours back that he listened to the podcast.
That's a very sweet thing.
Thank you, Dennis. So, I mean, that's almost 3 full days.
Yeah, of his life.
and he's okay with all of it.
Yeah,
I can't say that about even a day in my life that I don't want something given back to me.
Yeah. So, Stuart, I think I mentioned there's one in the 40s that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Any of them that say we're in a debate?
Oh, yes.
Those are pretty good, too.
Moritz Schubert.
Yes.
Probably, I think he tagged the one where we were getting into a fight about censorship.
Yes.
Because we got into a knockdown, drag-out about censorship and about when you apply that word and when you don't apply that word, and it was fun.
And less knockdown and drag-out than Christian is when he records ADR here.
Yes. Well, he's a knockdown, drag drunk, usually.
I didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that.
Okay.
This one, I'm hoping you've got a good answer for it, because I don't. I can't think of.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Moran asks, what is the creepiest thing someone has ever told you?
Well, I have a few. One time I was getting ready for bed, and I had the kids that night, and my daughter decides to tell a joke. And she comes up and is like, why did the chicken cross the road? And I'm like, why? He didn't have any friends. And that was pretty eerie. Kids are eerie, you know.
Yeah.
They're creepy little dudes, dudettes, you know. Whatnot.
Yeah, right.
They are gender neutral dudes. But yeah, pretty much everything creepy I've ever heard has come from a kid.
Yeah, I can't think of creepy. I'm lucky. I don't have like a lot of creepy people.
Right.
I can say some creepy things. Okay, I can't name anything specific, but if anyone finds Christian, Brian, or anybody from Darkness Rising that was shooting the real world scenes at Lodge's house, there was some creepy shit about that endeavor, and I'm sure we would be happy to talk to you about that.
Whose actual house was that?
I'm not sure that I want to say the person's name for the creepy value.
I think I know whose it is. So
just ask about the bathtub that moved. That's all I need to know. My favorite creepy thing to do to somebody with long hair. Can I borrow your hair for those?
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
For those who can't see.
Yeah, I already don't like what you're doing.
So you just walk up to somebody with the long hair and you just kind of pull on it, and then if that doesn't creep them out, just put it in your mouth. Instant chills, and they'll just freak out. It's awesome.
And after the restraining order comes back, that's called harassment, my friend. Don't put people's hair in your mouth. Don't do what Scotty Don't does.
Right.
Mike Hop just had a tornado warning. Stay safe, buddy.
In his house or the area? Are we still broadcasting there, Mike?
I don't know. I hope so.
I hope so.
Yes,
please stay safe.
Yeah, I've had some creepy things happen. Like, this sounded more like it was someone, you know, one of my favorite creepy things going around right now. Like, if you're young on the internet, or old on the internet, or just on the internet, there's this thing called creepypasta, which is,
What is that?
So back in, like, I want to say 2005 on a forum called Something Awful, they came up with this guy, Slender Man. It was from a post. It was from a picture where there was some weirdness in the back of the picture. Someone photoshopped in this long, tall, creepy guy. Mm-hmm. And then this whole creepypasta thing happened where you tell creepy stories. The Russian sleep experiment is a good example of one, of a creepypasta story. Just look up Russian sleep experiment. I'm not going to relay it.
Okay.
But the trend has led to this new thing, like 6-word horror stories, 1-sentence horror stories, and 2-sentence horror stories. They're great. Some of those are awesome. So I highly recommend checking that out if you want to be creeped out.
Cool. I can think of one creepy thing that happened.
Do tell.
Creepy. So when I was this was in the late 80s, a friend of mine went down to have, they had too much money, a nose job that he didn't need. Mm-hmm. Done by Michael Jackson's rhinoplasty doctor. So every time I see South Park and see Tom's rhinoplasty, I just go, Brian rhinoplasty.
Yeah.
His dad paid for me to go down to San Francisco and hang out with him for a week. And it was awesome. We were across the street from the Oz, which was the #1 nightclub in San Francisco at the time. Didn't go. The hotel was above one of the elite modeling agencies. We always stopped on floor 4. Floor 2, mezzanine, had a theater, and that's where I saw Ben Vereen and Nehemiah Pershoff in I'm Not Rappaport. But Brian had an idea at like 2 in the fucking morning that he needed a beer.
That happens.
He needed a 40. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, where the fuck are we going to find that in downtown San Francisco with no car?
Right.
So we go looking it up in the Yellow Pages, find a little corner mart. Great. So we walk to the corner mart. It's all.
This is Brian. Yeah, you could probably get him. Someone would buy him a beer on Castro.
Probably
go there.
Yeah. Yes, he would. Yeah. That's a whole other story. But we made it to the little shop and we were walking out. 2 white boys, downtown San Francisco, late 80s, and I'll just say a small contingent of darker individuals than we were started to mass behind us.
Okay.
About half a block. And we were walking and looking back, and they were walking towards us with purpose. And it was not very comfortable.
Okay.
They were rough. And I was starting to freak the fuck out because even back then I couldn't run. At all. Okay. So we're walking back, and I look, and we're stopped at a traffic light, busy intersection. I'm like, they are going to catch up to us. We are so fucked. We're going to get mugged. We're going to get shot. This is not good. Now they're yelling at us. I look over to my left. On the street corner is a man in a white t-shirt and a red beret.
Okay.
Remember those lovely people?
Yeah, they were like the watch
Guardian
angels. Yeah.
Turned around, feeling imminent danger behind me. Nobody. No one to be seen. There was no alleys. There was no. I don't know where they went. But I would say 10 people just went poof, and I look back to the left, and there's nobody there either. And I just pull Brian. I go, we're going back to the fucking hotel. And we got there. But that was a creepy moment for me because it was scary. I'm in a strange city. I don't know what I'm doing. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Idiot has a cast on his face, so you just look like we're ripe for the picking.
Now you know how every woman feels walking back to her car every time.
Yeah.
Only not quite, because they would have stabbed you, probably not with their dicks.
True.
So we have a question here from Morley Ambiguous Net. What's your favorite ad-lib by you or anyone else in a web show you've been involved with?
Favorite ad-lib? I don't know, man. I
just watched Aliens. I wish we could use that.
Yeah. Well, you know my
Game over, man!
My favorite ad-lib, one of my favorite ad-libs in a movie is definitely, that's one of them for sure, but definitely the bit where Ben Affleck said shoulder bub in Dogma, because it implies that even the angels know who Silent Bob is, and he says it in like, I don't know why, but it cracked me up.
Dustin Hoffman and
Hey, I'm walking here.
Taxi blew past all the signs that said set filming.
They didn't it said set filming. Reread that trivia piece. They were just filming. They didn't have any permits.
Oh, awesome.
That's why the taxi blew past them.
Oh, okay.
Well, that and the fact that the light was still red, so the taxi was breaking the law, is my understanding. From our stuff, man, we're not allowed to ad-lib very often.
Oh, Dorcas was all for with that move.
Oh
well, Christian was given direction, unbeknownst to anyone else, make them all break their takes.
Gotcha.
I don't want to get to one take with anybody making it all the way
I think
through.
Cheap was Talk a Little More was a
Scripted.
Oh, that was scripted?
Yep. The one that wasn't was
hard. Yeah.
So I will say that's my favorite.
The Whedon Mutant Enemy homage. Did you know that's what that was? Intentional.
Really?
Yeah. Mutant Enemy from Buffy.
Oh,
hard.
Oh, yeah, haven't seen that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Firefly too at the time because it would have come out.
Yeah.
But I think for Christmas was Buffy. Yeah, I don't have a lot of stuff off the top of my head that I remember.
I will remember. We will both remember them
the second we stop. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right, that one. That was good.
One that is in the outtakes of Dorkness.
I know what my favorite one is now. I just remembered.
Was when Flynn gets carried off and the line is, "There's 37 more me, asshole." I asked Matt for an extra take, and I did the whole Braveheart.
Yeah.
Not all bards die, or all bards die, but not all bards die free. Frida, and then all the zombies just took me off.
My favorite one that I did is actually Natural One. And it was during the... See, I don't want to say it, though. It was terrible. It was when I was doing the Canadian... I was doing the Canadian security program, and I started listing off some very Canadian-specific pornography that... Oh, man. That was terrible.
Yeah. By the way, Kobe Spalding's in the Lego Movie.
Yeah.
I got almost all the names, but I didn't figure her out, but that was awesome.
Pooping and shit like that,
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
After that poutine comment, now I'm just, I can't. I'm not sure that I could ever look at poutine the same way. Paul Moran also writes in, what were some of the most influential children's / intermediate level books that you've read, and what were your favorites?
Dragon's Blood by Jane Yolen, hands down one of my all-time favorite, got me into fantasy. The Dragon's Blood series, about a kid who sort of has a dragon, like brings it up from an egg. He's a squire, he's not supposed to have a dragon, all this stuff. Ends up cutting it open, being reborn out of the dragon and the dragon's blood. It was a neat, interesting story. Cool. And Jane Yolen's really cool anyway. I met her when I was a kid, and she was just one of the nicest authors. But definitely that. I have to say that I did truly love To Kill a Mockingbird. That book has stuck with me. It was one of the you have to read it books. But that's definitely stuck with me. More so than I would say, like, Flowers for Algernon or any of that. Those were all good, but they weren't great.
You wouldn't read it, I didn't.
It was okay then. But those were... I'm sorry?
You were better green.
I was better green. How do you catch... What is it? How do you catch a red elephant? With a red elephant net. How do you catch a blue elephant? Or no, it's how do you catch a... Sorry, how do you catch a blue elephant with a blue elephant net? How do you catch a red elephant? Hold his nose until he turns blue, then catch him the blue elephant. These are joke books from these same books.
Wow.
And then, what's the terrible one? There's like another terrible joke.
What's black and white and red all over?
There's like 15 different answers to that.
Sunburned zebras.
Sunburned zebras, yeah. Oh, what goes... what goes black, white, red? Penguin in a blender. What's black and white and can't go through a revolving door? A nun with a spear through her head. There you go. What's blue and smells like red paint? Blue paint. These are great jokes. Another book that stuck with me. This is another intermediate. Was definitely Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark because of the fucking artwork. So Alan Schwartz wrote them. They're not scary at all. They're like folktale collections. The Bloody Finger and some, the Hook on the Door, shit like that. Like, yeah, they're all right. They're
Campfire like ghost stories.
Yeah. Room for One More. Kind of thing about a hearse and this guy gets on an elevator or whatever. There's room for one more. Oh wait, no, they're crashes. Like shit like that. But the artwork in these things, and I cannot remember the goddamn artist's name right now. And truly goddamn him, because he is a terrible human being. Every nightmare I have had since I saw his artwork is his artwork. It is terrifying. I mean, terrifying. Literally terrifying artwork. So much so that the reprints that they have now have this shitty cartoony artwork in them. So, yeah, but I have the original in hardcover, and it's primo scary pictures. I'll have to bring it over and show it to you.
Yes.
It's pretty terrifying. And then I did read some non-children's books that were pretty influential. Pet Sematary, huge mistake when you're 12. Huge mistake when you're 12.
Yeah. Good joke.
Silver Bullet wasn't bad. I read that when I was about the same age. That wasn't bad. Tried to get through it. Nope. Not happening. Not getting through it. But I did read when I was 14 is when I really picked up on Stephen King's short stories, which are still my favorite book these days. The novellas and the short stories. So Different Seasons is still king of the crop. The breeding method's a little meh, but the rest of the stories, novellas in there are great. Mist, oh, wonderful. And if you get a chance, the Frank Darabont movie, The Mist, better ending than the book by a million. A million. It is the best ending to a movie I've ever seen.
Awesome.
Highly recommend. Watching Black
That's
and White.
the new one, right?
Newish. It's.
Okay,
I mean, it's within.
Didn't they make one like back in the 70s? No, that was the Fog. Never mind.
That was the Fog, and that was the one where the kids were. Yeah. Then there was Creepshow.
Yes.
Which that was so terrible. Stephen King was actually in that.
Yes,
he was the farmer that got covered in moss. That did have one of The Raft. That was an adaptation of The Raft. The Raft was a scary story to read. It wasn't very scary on screen, but it just overall, it was a terrifying story to be isolated in the middle of a lake with something hunting you that you can't see.
Yeah. So, the only things I can remember reading in high school time, Stephen R. Donaldson's Thomas Covenant series, Tolkien. Read The Hobbit and then read the three. And then also Terry Brooks' Sword of Shannara. I kind of picked up here and there, but I wasn't much of a... the Horatio Hornblower series, which is seafaring folk. My dad tried to get me into it. And I made a couple attempts. I think I would like to go back and read them now.
Yeah.
Because I think that I would understand them more.
Right.
But at the time, there was not enough action and piratey adventure to...
Right.
Okay, they're on the deck and they're swabbing and there's big words and...
Yeah.
I mean, not like... You know, the other books didn't have big words, but I was just like, nah.
In AP Biology, we got assigned Jurassic Park over Christmas break. Read Jurassic Park and tell us what's wrong with it. That was a lot of fun. It was interesting because it was also the first time I was really let down by a movie. Because I'd cast the movie in my head, right? And the movie was, I cast the book in my head. The book was based off of a real paleontologist, and you may have seen his pictures. He's got a long beard, scraggly beard, hat, really super skinny, famous paleontologist. Can't remember his name for some reason. So that's who was in my head. They reversed the kids in terms of age, and it was really weird. The love story wasn't really there the same way in the book. But Malcolm was still Jeff Goldblum. That blows my mind. Malcolm was still. It's the Snape thing.
Yeah.
It's Snape was Alan Rickman in the books, and he is Alan Rickman in the movies, and this guy was Jeff Goldblum in the books. I mean, he fit perfectly. They changed a lot of weird stuff for no reason in the movie. The entire opening scene was different because the opening scene for the book is the opening of the second movie, Lost World.
Right.
With the island and the little girl, because that's how he gets involved. Is they take there's like a howler monkey eating on a compassaur, and they take the hindquarters of it and send it to him when he's in Montana. And he's like, or New Mexico, or wherever he is. And he's like, we're getting on a plane right now. So, and then Hammond and Malcolm both die for real. But whatever.
Another one that I read now that I think would be good for young adult stuff and kind of get people into history are the Clive Cussler books.
Yeah.
I would say all his early stuff, anything that he's writing now where he's sharing joint authorship. I don't know that he's writing them anymore, but he's putting his name and Jeff Campos or whoever the other ones are. But I like it because it takes history and then sort of, here's some historical stuff, like Titanic. These things all happen.
Right.
But he does the story of, this car that was carrying something that's on the Titanic.
Right.
But there, and it really gets you interested. Oh, and when I read that, I was like, okay, I'm going to go look at some more. Because I know the Titanic hit an iceberg, the band played, and it sank. And I read his book before the movie came out.
Hey man, I don't know. That came out at the height of my solo sex career. So it was, it's a good self-date movie for a few minutes.
For a few minutes, yeah.
The other, I would also suggest, if you're trying to get kids into reading, Neil Gaiman right now is amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, has been for years, but my kids, got the Graveyard book a while ago. They were a little old for I Saw My Dad for Two Little Fish, and Coraline and stuff like that, but I plan on getting them Good Omens. That is, hands down, my favorite book. Good Omens, if you ask me, that's it, you're done. It's Good Omens. That is my favorite book. But even his, like American Gods, Anansi Boys, all of that, Ocean at the End of the Lane, those are great imaginative books. They make you feel like you're in a London that doesn't exist in a lot of cases. Wonderful stuff.
And last but not least, Neil Stephenson. I don't think kids can read the new stuff, but like Snow Crash,
Diamond Age, Snow Crash,
those are all awesome. But his Baroque Cycle and Cryptonomicon, pretty thick, pretty heady. If I looked at that as a kid, I would go, that's like a dictionary and thesaurus combined. I'm not going to go near that.
If nanotechnology takes off, I will credit the Diamond Age for so much.
Well, he wrote Snow Crash before there were avatars and all the AI stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing.
Oh, and Ready Player One is also awesome.
Oh, yes.
And that totally is suitable for a young adult.
Yeah, totally. And good history.
Which would
learn the shit that we had to put up with before you were here. When computers weren't an everyday thing.
It holds a special place in my heart because I grew up in a trailer park, which is essentially what the stacks were, and I have a feeling the author did too. I have a feeling the author and I shared a very similar upbringing. So, and Will Wheaton reads the audiobook.
Oh.
Will Wheaton.
And last but not least, Tom Brophy says, as he is wont to every 3 months or so, have any productions in the pipeline you guys are planning on that you can share? We've got all sorts of...
Ignatius Pendergast is a production that we should just do sometime over the next couple of weeks or months.
Yeah, after August.
After August, that works. But we should just nail that out of the park. Just get it done. So let's plan on that. We, of course, have Star Trek Freedom that we're looking at film fairly soon as well. I may have a new producer for that as well, who will bring some money in.
Cool.
Because the first one's only going to be providing food and a little bit of restitution to folks for the first one. But I want to give them something.
We talk about Castili Rock.
Sure. Do you want? Well, yeah, I don't know. Do you want to talk about it? No, we're not going to. And it's not a production. That's a short. That could turn into a production.
Could.
But for now, it would just be a short.
Yeah.
So let's not talk about that.
Okay.
Casterly Rock. There's gold in them there hills. No, there's not. No, there's not.
I can finally do my...
They don't have those in Western.
Gold miner.
They don't have gold miners in Western. They have iron. I guess you could be the part of the Iron Bank of Bravos.
I am an iron miner.
Good enough.
Sound like the guys in Harry Potter now. All the bankers. Oh no, bankers.
Gnomes.
Or whatever.
They're goblins.
Goblins. Okay.
Yes. So, but yeah, that's. I don't think we have anything else major on the docket currently. That being said, I'm feeling in my heart it's time to do more stuff.
Yeah.
We do have, and I may put this together. I may actually grab. I don't know if I saw the footage. I may grab it from you. If I don't, but I'm thinking I might put out a couple of episodes of Good Mechanical that we've already shot.
Yeah.
Because they fit really well with Natural One, which will be coming out very soon.
Yeah.
So, and I've been talking to Tom quite a bit, and it sounds like they are working their asses off in Guelph to get it really locked in. So it should be good, and I'm looking forward to it. But
awesome.
That's it. Yeah. So, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
If you're listening.
And if you're not busy making waffles.
In September.
Or before then, you can just come to my house. I don't even care if Scott gets to see you.
Hey.
Come, okay. In September.
No, I mean,
because he's here. Right,
here.
That's right. That's right.
Trying to not ask him to make a special trip.
Come do a rap battle with us.
That would be awesome.
We'll kick you to grass. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry about the audio again. We will see you next week.
Good night.
Guten Abend. Guter, lieben, blauen Globen.